What's going on, guys? It's Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of the Andy Kandola Show. In today's video, I want to go ahead and share with you guys the 5 bank stocks that are my favorite stocks in the stock market. Basically, I have a lot of experience in the sector, guys. I actually work in the financial sector. These are the 5 stocks that I'm very bullish on for this year, and I do see these 5 stocks growing the most when you go ahead and compare them to their overall sector. Now, within my portfolio, I do go ahead and diversify my portfolio in the different sectors in the S&P 500. So I do have my financial sector here as well. So I will go ahead and share with you guys which one of these 5 stocks that I'm investing in myself. But all 5 of these I'm going to be extremely bullish on going into this year if you're looking at diversifying in the financial sector. Now, before we go ahead and jump into the video, I like to go ahead and share with you guys where this portfolio's at. I call this my bucket list portfolio. It's made up of growth stocks and dividend growth stocks. I like to be fully transparent, share with you guys where this portfolio's at on a week-to-week basis. Now, as far as the current value, guys, the portfolio is sitting at $97,876. This is the highest I've ever had this portfolio at. I do go ahead and dollar cost average every single week in this portfolio. So I go ahead and add whatever I can every single week to this portfolio because I do want to keep growing this portfolio over the long term. Now, as far as my total gains and losses, the market is trading right now. So we'll probably see some adjustments as I go ahead and share with you guys this portfolio. But as far as today's gains or losses go, I am down $217 currently, or 0.22%. Overall, guys, in the last week, the portfolio is up $203 or 0.21%. Overall, in the last month, the portfolio is up $3,892 or 4.25%. And also, guys, just in the last month, I've made $206.99 just in dividends. So this portfolio is definitely earning me some nice dividends as well. Now, in the last quarter, the portfolio is up $10,599 or 13.46%. And we've earned $483 in dividends. And then in the last 1 year, guys, the portfolio is up $16,621 or 34.48%. And in total, we've earned $1,175 in earned dividends. So just to share with you guys where the market is at, basically right now, guys, the market is trading sideways as of today. Now, overall though, if we look at the last 1 year, the market has climbed back out of the pandemic and it is starting to hit new highs. Currently, the Dow Jones is trading at $31,176. And what I can tell you guys is bank stocks, I do believe, are going to be the most bullish stocks to go ahead and invest in this year. As we're getting out of the pandemic and as the Federal Reserve went ahead and did a stress test and said that banks are clear and they've passed the stress test, these banks are going to be focused on buying back their shares. So a lot of these banks have already decided that they're going to do share buybacks, meaning there's going to be less stocks out there, so the stock price will climb. Plus, these banks are going to go ahead and start lending more money and they're not losing as much money as they expected. So I believe the overall revenue for these banks is going to go ahead and increase. Now, here's the thing, just jumping into the stocks, the first stock out of the 5 stocks, and this is going to be actually my favorite stock, and I do own the stock in my portfolio, and that's going to be JP Morgan Chase. Now, JP Morgan Chase, as of right now, is trading at $135 per share. If we look at the last 1 year, before the pandemic, this company was trading at right around $137, and guess what? We are at that same level at this point. Now, here's the thing. I believe JP Morgan is going to go ahead and keep going up. And I do believe that this stock is going to go ahead and cross $200 before the end of the year. JP Morgan is one of the largest banks in the US. They are actually, when you go ahead and compare them to their sector, the most tech-savvy company within their sector. Basically, they're taking advantage of everything to do with technology to make their products more efficient. And this company is just one of the simplest companies to go ahead and actually even establish an account with. And they're really well diversified as far as the different ways that they go ahead and generate revenue. Now, guys, here's the thing. With far as JP Morgan goes, you do actually earn dividends with this company as well. JP Morgan is currently paying a dividend of 2.65%. They've been consistently paying their dividends for the last 10 years. They actually did not decrease their dividends, even though we had the pandemic, and they've been consistently growing their dividend by 16.47%. And if I just go ahead and share with you guys a website called Simply Safe Dividends, I like this website because they actually break down the information very easily. JP Morgan's dividend safety score is considered a 60, so they are considered borderline safe. And if we go ahead and look at as far as their growth potential, JP Morgan did take a hit when we had the 2008-2009 financial crash, but since then, this company has consistently been increasing their dividends dividends. And as we know, the last 5 years, they've actually increased their dividends by an average of 16%. Now, if we go ahead and look at my portfolio, in regards to my portfolio, this is actually my largest holding within my financial sector, and I do have $3,512 invested in this company, guys. And overall, as of today, I am losing money, but if we just go ahead and look at the all-time, I am up in the stock, or I was gonna say I should be up in the stock because I started investing in this pretty early on. I'm actually up about 70% in the stock, or $607. Now, my average share price in the stock is $113. I have been dollar cost averaging in this company, and I plan to just keep dollar cost averaging throughout this year. Now, just jumping into the second stock, and this is going to be another stock that I do carry in my portfolio. But guys, this is going to be Bank of America. Now, Bank of America is basically the second largest company as far as the banking sector goes within the US. This is a company that I use as well. I have a lot of friends that actually worked at this company. This is a company that is rebounding, and they're really going ahead and making all their different avenues profitable. So as far as the retail banking goes, that was a part of Bank of America that really got hit, but now they've actually figured that out, and they're actually cash flow positive when you go ahead and look at that individual sector within Bank of America. But just jumping into the stock, guys, the stock is trading at $32. I do believe the stock is easily going to be over $45 before the end of this year. Now, as far as the 1 year gains, 1 year, this company is still down 6.83%. Pre-pandemic, the stock was trading at $34-ish, and right now we're at $32, so we are climbing back to where we were prior to the pandemic. Now, this is another stock, guys, that does pay out a dividend as well. With Bank of America, they have a dividend safety score of 55, so they are considered borderline safe. But if we go ahead and look at their dividend yield, they're paying a dividend of 2.23%, and they've been consistently growing their dividends, and last year they grew their dividends by 22%. Now, if we go ahead and just look at their streak, Bank of America, same exact thing happened where they had to go ahead and cut their dividends during the financial crash in 2008, 2009. But since then, the stock has been consistently paying their dividends for the last 10 years, and they've been growing their dividends for the last 6 years. And if we just look at the last 5 years, they've actually been growing their dividends by 41%. Now, this is a stock that Warren Buffett does invest in as well. This is one of his primary holdings, and I do believe Bank of America has really figured it out at this point, so they are just going to keep on growing. Now, if we just look at my overall portfolio, just in the last day, guys, I am down about $15, but my current value in the stock is $1,550. Overall, since I started investing in the stock, I am up 64%, or $394. This is another stock that I hold within my M1 Finance bucket list portfolio, and I do currently have 48 shares in the stock at an average share price of $24.15. So this is a stock I'm very bullish on. I believe this company is just going to keep on growing as well. But now, jumping into the next stock, this is going to be crossing the border into Canada, and I love the Canadian banking sector, and this is my favorite stock in the Canadian banking financial sector, and that's going to be TD Bank. Now, TD Bank is currently trading at $59.23 per share. But guys, here's the thing. If you don't know anything about the Canadian banking sector, I highly recommend to go ahead and look at this sector, because in Canada, they actually have 5 very, very strong banks. And unlike the US, where we have over a couple thousand banks, Canada has a couple hundred banks. So their banking sector is highly regulated, so it's not easy for a competitor to go ahead and enter that market. Plus, the big 5 banks there own and basically control that market, with TD Bank being one of the big 5. Now, TD Bank has diversified their portfolio as far as how they make money, so I do like this bank overall. Plus, they are also in the US, so they have different products they also sell in the US as well. But as far as the overall returns go, this stock over the last 1 year, they're up 4.32%. Pre-pandemic, they were trading at right around $57, and now they're at about $59. Now, I do believe that the stock will go ahead and climb over $100. I believe the stock has room to go ahead and grow, and especially knowing the Canadian banking sector, very safe sector for this market. Now, here's the other thing. If we go ahead and look at their dividends, TD Bank's dividend safety score is considered an 80, so they do have a very safe dividend. And as well as, guys, look at this, the dividend yield is actually a very nice dividend yield. So on your money, you're getting a dividend of 4.15%. And then if we go ahead and look at the dividend growth rate, as we can tell, even when 2008, 2009, we had the financial crash in US, well, guess what? In Canada, this stock was still climbing. They still paid out their dividends. They did not cut their dividends. So that's why I really like TD Bank, because this stock consistently has been paying out their dividends for the last 26 years. They've been growing their dividends for the last 10 years. And as far as the average growth rate, the last 5 years, they've been growing their dividends by 9%. And then the last 20 years, they've been growing their dividends by 10%. Now, if we go ahead and look at my portfolio, this is another stock that I invest in. Overall in the stock, just in the last day, I do believe, hey, I'm still up $1 or so in the last day, but my current value is $1,334. But then all time, guys, I'm up 70% in the stock, or $330. And as far as the earned dividends rate here, I've earned about $33 in dividends. Now, additionally, if we go ahead and just look at how many shares I have 22.52 shares at an average share price of $46.06. So very bullish on the stock. I do believe the stock is going to go ahead and cross $100. Now, jumping into the fourth stock. The fourth stock is actually going to be jumping back to the US, and that is going to be Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs is basically the largest investment banking firm in the US. Basically, any company that wants to go ahead and go public, Goldman Sachs is one of the main players in that market. They have also diversified in banking. They've also diversified in wealth management. And guys, just recently, Goldman Sachs did go ahead and share the revenues, and the revenues were way ahead of what people were expecting. And they did go ahead and declare $1.25 as far as their dividend goes. Now, the big thing is, and why I believe Goldman Sachs is doing really well, is because they've really figured out how to go ahead and go more direct to consumers with some of their wealth management products and with some of their trading platforms. So this is a stock that I am bullish on. I believe this company is just going to keep on growing. Now, Goldman Sachs is currently trading at $290 per share. This company easily will go ahead and cross $350, in my opinion, before the end of this year. And if we just look at the overall last 1 year since the pandemic, the stock is currently now up 16.44%. They were trading at right around $240, and then they were trading sideways for a bit, right around that $200 range. But now, guys, the stock is hitting all-time new highs. They actually hit $307 per share a couple days ago, and now they're trading at $280. So another great stock and another great investment within the financial sector. And as far as just looking at their dividends, Goldman Sachs is currently actually considered borderline safe. So they do have a safety score of a 60. They do pay out a dividend of 1.71%. And as far as just the last 1 year, they've actually grown their dividend by 32%. And if we go ahead and look at as far as the consistent growth in their dividends, Bank of America did go ahead and pause their dividends. They still were paying out a dividend, but they went ahead and did not increase their dividends when we had the pandemic. So uninterrupted, they've been paying their dividends for the last 10 years, and they've been growing their dividends for the last 8 years. And then overall, as far as the last 5 years, this company has been growing their dividends by 13%. So this is going to be the fourth stock, guys, on this list. Now, just jumping into the fifth stock, and this is a bank that I actually worked at for a while, and this is gonna be M&T Bank. Now, here's the thing with M&T Bank. I can just tell you guys, working at this bank, this is one of the most conservative banks out there. If we just go ahead and look at this bank overall in the last 5 years, this bank was consistently trading at right around $150 to $170. And when the pandemic happened, this bank definitely took a hit. And right now, guys, they're trading at $143 a share. So I do believe there's room to grow. I do believe that this bank will go ahead and go back to about $160 to $170 as far as their share price goes. Now, M&T Bank is a very conservative bank. They actually don't take a lot of risks. So when a lot of these other banks go ahead and get hurt, M&T Bank, because of the conservative approach, aren't really taking some of those risks. So this bank will do fine long term. Now, if we go ahead and look at just the dividends of this company, M&T is actually considered a 99 as far as their dividend safety goes. That is like the best score that you can basically get. And that basically tells you that how conservative this bank is, because their primary concern is to go ahead and be a very safe and conservative bank. They don't take on a lot of those risks. So this is considered a 99, which is very safe. And guys, this company does pay out a nice dividend with a 3.07% dividend yield. Now, if we go ahead and just look at this company's dividend growth, they have been consistently paying out their dividends for 31 plus years. So they are considered a dividend aristocrat, and they've been growing their dividends consistently for the last 3 years. Now, overall, the last 20 years, this bank has actually been increasing their dividends by 12%. And then overall, in the last 5 years, they've been consistently growing their dividends by an average of 8%. So guys, these are basically going to be the 5 bank stocks that I would go ahead and suggest for anybody that's looking to go ahead and diversify in this sector. Now, if you guys, of course, have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to go ahead and get back to you because I am very passionate about the sector, and I have actually worked in the sector and still work in the sector. So I do know a lot about the sector, but these are going to be my 5 favorite that I'm investing in. And if we go ahead and just look at my portfolio, guys, oh, I actually just realized that the value of the portfolio did cross 98,000 at this point. We are still in the market trading day, and currently the overall gains for this portfolio did go ahead and go down. So we were losing over $100 at one point, and now we're actually losing $42. So that's nice. And additionally, guys, if we just look at the overall financial stocks that I have, like I mentioned, I have the 3 stocks that I shared, and I also have American Express. Now, because American Express is not a bank, I did not go ahead and include that in this list. But these are basically the 4 stocks that I have within my financial sector. Now, if you guys want to see all the different stocks that I have, I will leave a link for my M1 account down in the description below. If you guys are interested in trading with M1 Finance, they actually do offer a limited time offer, which they offer $30 when you go ahead and sign up with them. It is an affiliate link, guys, so it does help the channel out as well. But thanks again, guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys at the next